Also hat Gott die Welt geliebt, dass seinen eingeborenen Sohn gab, auf dass alle, die an ihn glauben, nicht verloren werden, sondern das ewige Leben haben. Johannes 3,16.
My oldest brother learned German, and the other brother followed him. I got to follow in my brother's footsteps. And knowing that I'm going to, UC San Diego, where the beach is right there, I wanted to try surfing.
神愛世人。
That's it. 你好，我係Aiden Tang，或者鄧朗謙，我係19歲。而家去第3年嘅大學，我讀緊 biology. I'm trying to become a pediatrician. I chose to learn German because my oldest brother learned German, and the other brother followed him to learn German. So, being the youngest child, I got to follow in my brother's footsteps. But even so, they told me stories of how, German is so cool. You have fun times in German. So I said, why not?
德文咧就係一個非常難讀嘅語言，咁佢讀個過程嘅時候咧，就會訓練佢去克服困難，同埋咧就克服佢咧更加要運用多啲個思想。
其實我睇到佢讀德文都係好事，我都有期望佢可以讀德文，因為如果佢將來讀神學嘅話咧，佢神學嗰個嘅基礎能闊啲咧，即係個闊度咧就闊好多。
Der Weg, die Wahrheit und das Licht.
Der Weg, die Wahrheit. Okay, one more time, sorry. Der Weg, die Wahrheit. Der Weg, die Wahrheit.
Der Weg, die Wahrheit. Wait, no. Der Weg, die Wahrheit und das Licht.
Oh, God, that's good. That's good.
Because when I'm growing up, everyone knew who I was as a pastor's kid, and even though if I don't know them, they would just come next to me, hey, you're Pastor Tang's son, right? I was like, yeah. Do I know you? I don't know if it was just pressure for myself or from other people, but I felt like I should be helping out in church because my dad's a pastor. But when I was very young, I thought, being a pastor's kid meant I had special privileges. I get to go to the church office. I get to be in my dad's private office, But then as I grew up, as I became more mature, I realized that being a pastor's kid didn't mean more privileges, it meant more responsibilities in a way. My dad holds a position of leadership in the church, and he's, people are looking up to him, so his actions matter. And me as a pastor's kid, my actions kind of matter too, because it doesn't only reflect him, it reflects God.
我三仔係比較特別啲嘅，佢同其他小孩子唔同，好少出聲。但係咧，佢個學習方式咧就係觀察同埋自己思想。佢好喺佢個腦裏邊咧 organize 咗啲嘢，自己去消化，咁然後做出嚟。你話佢有冇問題咧？我相信佢會有，但係咧佢就好少問，可能佢咧係觀察哥哥問嘢啦，觀察哥哥點樣做啦，觀察哥哥個情況點啦，咁佢就 absorb 咗喺佢自己嘅心靈裏邊啊。
甚至到今時今日咧，即係已經長大好多啦。咁有啲時候咧，佢都係少講嘢，但係當佢一講嘢嘅時候咧，就有啲特別嘅意思喺度嘅。咁譬如我哋有時猛整上嚟會argue啲嘢啦，謙謙佢事後佢就會講啦，你哋 lost patience， 但係其實佢係最細嗰個嚟嘅，但係佢就會 comment 我哋咧就冇耐性你哋咁樣，呢個就係佢嘅性格咯。
I tend to let my brothers and my parents talk, because I know they like to talk sometimes. But when I talk, I talk.
But being a second generation Christian, I didn't really have a choice early in my childhood to kind of choose my religion. I went to church because my parents did, and I believed I was a Christian because my parents believed. And because it wasn't my choice, in a way, I rebelled against Christianity when I was in my teens. But during my senior year, I realized that I could really no longer sit on the fence about the situation. I realized that I would be an adult. And so I kept kind of asking myself, am I going to take this religion for myself and fully commit? And so in search of that answer to the question, my mind kind of kept replaying moments of my life, moments where God answered my prayers, moments where I felt security in times of stress, moments where I felt like I was loved by his community, and moments where my families and friends did not abandon me. And it kind of slowly dawned on me that this whole time and throughout my life, I've been living in God's grace and mercy, and kindness and love. And that's when I kind of fully decided to send it with God and, commit to God. I wanted to continue to live in his presence, and I wanted to spread that joy of being with God to others. And so as a declaration of my faith and commitment to God, I got baptized this summer going to college. They wanted me to find my own path to Christ instead of, kind of forcing it. I realized later on that they were only walking like a few steps behind me in my walk to Christ. Kind of like they're giving me the support I need when I need it, but they're also making sure I'm setting my own path.
Where I got to college, I had to make my own decisions, find my own friends, do everything by myself. But that helped me find my voice and who I am. It was a journey, and still is a journey. I always thought surfing was really cool in high school, and I'd always done aquatic sports, so I did swimming, I did a year of water polo, and going to college, I wanted to try something new. Once I got the hang of that, I became very interested in getting my own board and my own wetsuit, kind of like me taking control of the sport. It's like claiming it as like, hey, so this is something I do now. Throughout this whole process, I was updating my family on how it's going, because surfing is so cool. I just want to share it, They were scared for me at first, my parents. It's been a little bit of, hey, I know the dangers of surfing, because I'm doing it for a bit of time. They understand that I've picked up some skills on it and I know what to do. So they just, they let me surf.